On the day of her wedding, the bride ran into her mother dressed in mourning clothes right in the middle of the road. She immediately assumed her mom was staging some melodramatic stunt to stop the wedding. Determined to prove it was all for show, she pushed through the crowd only to be stunned by the sight of her father's photo displayed on the front of a funeral van. Just days before, the girl had announced she was going to marry a man with no job and a sketchy background. Her parents, worried sick about her future, tried persuading her to reconsider, but she took it as rejection of her relationship and responded by threatening to take her own life. As she stepped toward the edge of a tall building, she suddenly fainted from anemia. At the last second, her father lunged forward and pulled her back only to suffer a heart attack from the shock. He fell off the building. Her mother rushed to grab him, managing to catch his hand. But the girl's so-called boyfriend pulled her away, showing no concern for her parents. And though the mother fought to hold on, her strength eventually gave out. Her husband slipped from her grasp and plummeted to his death. When the girl woke up later, she assumed it was her boyfriend who had rescued her. Seeing a small scrape on his arm, she insisted on taking him to the hospital, even boldly declaring she would marry no one else. Meanwhile, her mother desperately flagged down a cab, explaining her husband's condition to the driver. But just as she turned back to bring her husband, she passed her daughter, who climbed into that very same cab with her boyfriend. Despite the driver trying to explain the urgency, the girl threatened him, saying if her boyfriend's arm got worse, it would be on him. Under pressure, the driver left with the young couple. By the time the mother carried her husband out, the taxi was already gone. She ran after it, screaming at the top of her lungs. Her daughter looked back, just as her mother collapsed in the street. Because of the delay, her father missed the critical window for treatment and passed away. Wanting her daughter to say goodbye to her father, the mother called again. When she found out the girl was also at the hospital getting her boyfriend treated, she rushed over and tried to stop her in the hallway. But before she could explain, the girl accused her of chasing her down to break up the marriage again. She threw out a few harsh words, insisting she'd marry the guy no matter what. She even demanded her mother attend the wedding the next day. With no choice, the grieving mother went on to organize her husband's funeral. But fate had more cruelty in store. She ran into her daughter's wedding parade on the street. The groom's mother, upon seeing the funeral procession, cursed the dead man for bringing bad luck. Both sides argued over who had the right of way. When the bride stepped out to check what was going on, she spotted the village chief and her own mother leading the funeral. She asked what was happening, and her mother, frustrated, scolded her for showing up dressed like that. Just as she was about to reveal the identity of the deceased, the girl cut her off, claiming her attire was fine and accusing her mother of staging another scene. Before the mother could speak again, the groom's family jumped in, accusing her of trying to sabotage the marriage. The groom ordered her to move aside. Furious at their shamelessness, the mother tried pulling her daughter away, but the girl shouted at her to step aside too. The groom's relatives egged her on, sowing even more discord between mother and daughter. The mother tried one last time to tell her the truth, but again, the girl cut her off, saying she didn't care who had died, they needed to make way for her wedding. Still, the mother refused to move. The girl then threatened to sever ties with her family altogether. Crushed, the mother still wanted to give her daughter one last chance to do the right thing. She handed her a ceremonial banner to lead the way past the funeral, but the girl angrily threw it aside and yelled for her mother to get out of the way. Heartbroken, the mother